Melly had his first court hearing today for his upcoming trial in September. The new judge was stunned to hear how long Melly's been sitting inside of jail. It begins with Melly walking into the courtroom looking irritated with a new hairstyle, and Melly's angry for good reason, but more on that later. The new judge began reading over the case files until he stumbled on Melly's jail time. It was reported Melly has to make a firm decision about who he wants as his lawyers. He's now been sitting in our jail for 2,159 days, leaving everyone, including Melly, surprised.
No, but let me repeat myself. Mr. Devins has to make an informed decision about who he wants his lawyers to be. He's now been sitting in our jail for 2,159 days. So, how long would you like to be able to make that decision?
I can't determine when the investigation will be over. That's up to the Broward Sheriff's Office, but I can, as I said, I'm just asking for, and then I'm asking for at least a day or two.
You can decide by tomorrow. I've also reserved all of tomorrow.
The judge couldn't believe Melly's been sitting in jail for 2,100 days without a conviction. He said, "Give us your final reason why he shouldn't be free by tomorrow, or I'm releasing him on bond." This is exactly what Melly needed, a new judge who won't just side with the prosecutors. However, to help Melly's chances of release, his lawyers brought up this evidence from the original trial of Melly texting his ex-girlfriend in real time when the crime went down, when he was running away from the men on the street.
That would be the part where he's saying that someone just shot the car up and was trying to shoot them. So I asked him if he was okay, where he was, and he's like, there's a car coming behind him, like hiding. He was like, there's some, yeah. He's like, yeah, there's some. I think they're still out here or something. So I'm like, are you okay? He's like, I'm okay. I said, well, where are Sack and Juvie? And he said, I don't know if they're in the car. I think they're.
Proving Melly was being chased by a car with rival street members in it. But also in the Melly trial, prosecutors admitted there was no firearm found.
So the first thing is I didn't have a firearm, so I can't know which firearm I'm going to use in order to replicate any of my tests. So I can't make tests for this determination because I don't know what was used.
Okay.
To understand Melly's release date, you need to understand why they finally pushing the release talks through court. Bowie revealed the feds are doing whatever they want with Melly, whether it's legal or not, but it seems they've been caught.
My son has not been convicted of anything, and even other inmates that have been convicted or anything, they have the right to use a telephone. They have a right to just to be allowed to write letters to their loved ones, to receive their mail. They hold his mail, they don't give it to him.
As Charleston White reacted to this, sharing that this is what Melly should be living like and shouldn't get special treatment.
Even the YNW Melly, I'm so happy he in jail getting mistreated. Yeah, I'm so happy he in jail getting mistreated, homie. Homie, when you take a life, homie, you ain't got a right to complain about a motherfucking thing, about being mistreated. When you done chose to play, think somebody.
This made Melly's mother extremely unhappy. Jamie King reveals she feels heartbroken and helpless as Melly's not even being treated as a human in jail.
When you saw Melly's statement, just saying how he's been hurt, how he's scared for his life, as a mother, how did that make you feel?
It's heartbreaking. It made me feel completely helpless. Broward Sheriff's Office definitely needs to be investigated. I mean, they are making up their own rules. We've tried to go to court about this situation. The judge really doesn't have any jurisdiction when it comes to the jail, because we actually had a hearing about the mistreatment of him, and the jail they make their own rules. And I don't think that's fair, because I know that they need to answer to someone too.
This would get the attention of Boozy, who would speak on the stress Jimmy King's been going through.
She real, bro. You know, she real.
She's stressed out. I heard she had a.
Yeah, she real, and I reached my hand out to him, cause I'm real. Yeah, I reached out to him, bro. I met his mom, and she a good woman.
But the feds would retaliate by creating a 6-page evidence file explaining reasons why Melly shouldn't be released from jail. You tell me if you would release him, starting with the most important new piece of evidence, which is what the motive was. Melly was very close with King Von leading to his arrest. A Roga Block member shared a secret Melly told King Von. Melly asked King Von for advice on how to handle a situation with Sack Chaser and Juvie.
Did Von really tell you that Melly told him that he was 2 friends?
He ain't come out and say, like, we got into an argument. And so, you know, if you know, when people can say something without saying it. And so he told me, like, once I posted what I posted, Von was mad at me. Bro, why you put up there, bro? Walk the bam. I'm like, you sitting up here, like, you know the love we got. You do this for us, but you gonna trust that his 2 friends? And he said, them was trying to extort him. And so I'm like, if they was trying to extort him, then why are you still around them?
Involving Sack Chaser and Juvie going after Melly for financial gain, as it's a registered business where Melly and Borland performed concerts, sold merchandise and did promotions for companies in exchange for money. However, Sack Chaser and Juvie wanted a cut of the money but did zero work for it. But if you know about King Von's past and how he handled situations, you can guess how V would have told Melly to handle it. This was the missing piece of evidence the prosecutors missed during the original trial, which is a motive. Pair this with evidence found on Melly's phone and it gets bad, where he sent a text message hours after the crime admitted.
The PC Gambino account asked him if he was okay, and his response was, I did that, and placed a smiley face emoji.
And the next message from 10/26/2018 at 16:02 from Eastern Standard Time. The YNW Melly account says what?
After that, SHHHH.
But also found on Melly's phone was a saved video from someone's Facebook live. It shows Melly and Ben's reaction to the crime only 6 hours after it was done.
Melly still turned regardless of what happened this early morning. He's still out here being very positive. Turned still. Hey! The dog still turned, regardless of what happened. You already know.
Showing not an ounce of sadness for the passing of the 2 best friends. Knowing how Melly handled it, Amotally, the lead prosecutor, would then dive deep into the physical evidence of the crime, such as the Jeep they were driving in during the original trial. Sergeant Williams revealed there was no way this could have been a drive-by.
Number, you said 17 outside the car. How many rounds were inside of the car?
3.
And can you exclude the for Mr. Williams and Mr. Thomas as coming from outside of the car?
Yes. From the driver's side back seat.
As to the shot that Christopher Thomas, where did that come from?
Driver's side back seat.
No. Is it possible for there to have been 2 inside that car?
No.
Why not?
There is no time assignment, which is to determine if this is a drive. And my determination was that this is not a drive-by. And it's based upon this picture here, which is a very good picture to describe it. All of these rounds are done. One is done at a stationary position. At a stationary position when all but one of these rounds are going in. The one round that has some movement in it, which is round site L here, the actually moving in that.
With Williams revealing the crime must have happened inside of the vehicle during the Melly trial, we then saw Juvie's mother go on the stand and share who was sitting there.
Your full legal name for the jury?
I'm Leon Phillips.
Okay. And are you related to one of the victims in this case?
Yes, I am.
How so?
I'm his mother.
And who is that?
Christopher Thomas.
Ms. Phillips, did you see who entered into the occupants who entered into that gray Jeep?
Yes.
Do you recognize where your son entered that gray Jeep?
Yes.
Which seat, if you can identify for the jury?
He got in the back seat. On the right-hand side.
Did you recognize the individual that got into the back seat on the left side, the rear driver's side?
Yes.
And who was that individual?
Janelle.
However, to extend the time to file why Melly has to stay in jail, they bought time for themselves by throwing Melly's partner Borland into jail.
Melly's co-defendant YNW Borland was booked into a Miami jail Monday night and is being held behind bars on an out-of-county warrant. We just confirmed the warrant is out of Broward County for witness tampering. The warrant obtained by Law and Crime Network states as follows. On or about April 10, 2023, continuing through and including July 22, 2023, Cortland Henry, aka Bortland, along with others, did unlawfully and knowingly engage in misleading conduct toward another person with the intent to cause or induce them to withhold testimony. The warrant continues the alleged witness had been summoned by the legal process to the jury trial of Jamel Dimmons, aka YNW Melly. The dates in the warrant are important. Jury selection for Melly started in mid-April, and a judge declared a mistrial on July 22nd, the same day the warrant claims Bortland allegedly tampered with the witness.
Band's house was raided by the feds and they found paperwork stuffed into a suitcase. A report reads, "Here are the images of alleged notes discovered during the home raid of Band's home," as Borland details where certain jurors were sitting with a description of what they look like. To understand how serious this is, here's academic reaction.
To keep it real, this is sloppy. Bortland, how the f you gonna have the notebook of the jurors in your house? Holy sh! Like, come the f on. It's like doing a and having the surveillance tape in your DVD player or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, come on, bro. Like they raid your crib and the surveillance footage of the is in your DVD player. They're like, oh, okay, thank you, brother.
For example, say Melly was sentenced to life in prison. Borland could have given this piece of paper to some serious street members to get revenge for Melly, but these aren't the only charges Melly and Borland are facing now.
Filing 6 new charges against Dimmons and 2 others who were allegedly involved. The charges include tampering with a witness, directing the activities of a criminal, solicitation or conspiracy to commit tampering, and unlawful use of a two-way communication device. Now, a couple of those charges actually carry a life in prison sentence if there's a conviction.
These new charges were connected to Band's massive mistake. Juvie's father would expose how Melly and Borland were witness tampering and what code words they used to make Melly's ex-girlfriend not testify against him in the original trial.
There was this kind of crazy way that Melly was communicating. He wasn't allowed to use the phone, but he was passing notes to people, and then this person's calling this person and then that person.
Like, to me, they going through extreme measures, trying to cover up or convince people not to testify, like Mariah mom. They was using code words like Rihanna and A$AP Rocky's baby mom. And
Melly's lawyers, however, will be able to bring a defense to the evidence file submitted by the prosecutors, making the strong case that Melly's retrial isn't for a long time. As stated by a report, Melly's double M retrial is set for September 2025. His mother, Jamie King, even gave an update outside the courthouse.
Free Melly till he's free. He's coming home, guys. Just patience. So we did have court today. Him and Bort, they both had court. And so basically, the judge put a new trial date in for September 10th of 2025. Please make it make sense. I don't know. I don't know. At this point, they need to just dismiss the case. Yeah, he still doesn't have phone calls. Still no visitation. He's still in the new facility all alone by himself, no contact. He's not allowed to have contact with any other inmates. They move him around with several guards. It's like something you never